of music, come to me, angel of music.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie musicals we want to be remade.
I'm not good, I'm not nice, I'm just right.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most notable musical films that deserve a do-over, either because they simply need updating, could do with a modern makeover, or were just really that bad. Which movie musical do you want remade, and who would you cast in it? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Cats. It's already a stretch to ask audiences to suspend their disbelief long enough to follow the premise of this musical.
Allegorical cats, metaphorical cats,
Statistical cats,
and mystical cats,
political cats.
The least they could do is make a film we'd never forget, and not because it's a trippy mess that'll remain etched in our brains forever. We don't mean to be catty, but the 2019 movie tried so hard to hit all the Oscar bait boxes that it became one colossal catastrophe.
and there's no doing anything about. Wow, dear. No.
We're not saying it's easy to make Cats look good, but as one of the longest running Broadway shows, it clearly isn't impossible. Maybe someone better suited to tackle the musical's oddities could dig their claws in for a more tolerable do-over. Otherwise, this is one tale that we should probably just let lie.
And yet you embarrass me, That's what I say to you, okay? Now listen, you'll never get me up there on your own, so let's gather up a few more of the cats, and we'll try again, shall we?
Number 9. Oklahoma. Unless you include the 1999 recording starring Hugh Jackman, it's been a while since Oklahoma received the silver screen treatment. And given the success of the 2019 Tony Award-winning revival, we'd say now would be a great time to revisit it. The 1955 flick was relatively faithful to its source material, so perhaps it's time for a more inventive adaptation.
Everything's up to date in Kansas City. They've gone about as far as they can go. They got a big theater they call a Burley Q. For 50 cents you could see a dandy show.
With that in mind, the revival unearthed the original story's darker underlayers in a way that would appeal to more contemporary audiences. We also can't say no to the idea of the revival cast reprising their roles. An updated Oklahoma could be a fantastic celebration of the old and new combined. One thing's for sure, we could never tire of Rodgers and Hammerstein's brilliant soundtrack. Number 8. Rent. Opening on Broadway in 1996, Rent became a sensation, scoring Tony Awards and a Pulitzer Prize. Nearly a decade later, most of the cast reunited for the film version, which some felt left a lot to be desired.
She's in denial. He's in denial.
Guys.
Didn't give an inch when I gave her my
Gave a mile to who? Come on, guys, chill.
We certainly wish it hadn't skipped out on some brilliant songs like Christmas Bells and Happy New Year. Still, Rent has a huge fan base.
Remember that.
And now, Jonathan Larson's legacy is reaching wider audiences thanks to the hugely successful Tick Tick Boom. Considering how relevant it still is, we couldn't think of a better time for a remake. Only this time, we want the entire original Broadway soundtrack. And although the original cast has likely moved on, we wouldn't say no to some cameos either.
Viva la vie poème!
Number 7. The Wiz. A classic story, epic soundtrack, and star-studded cast weren't enough to make this adaptation a hit. Audiences and critics alike found the movie rather lackluster, and nothing like the lively show they loved.
You get in, way over your head, and you only got yourself to blame. You can win, child.
So should it be remade, we suggest the filmmakers ask the Wizard for an equally talented, but maybe more age-appropriate cast. And a new adaptation would need plenty of spark to evoke the dynamism of the stage musical, because there's no doubt that the story has all the elements to be a major blockbuster.
If they can lost your mind, and each step you're taking leave you 3-4 steps behind.
The road you're walking might be long sometimes, but just keep on stepping and you'll be just fine.
Plus, we could always use more films that celebrate Black excellence. It would also be interesting to see how the current realities could motivate the plot, making it more relatable to audiences today.
If you gotta bring me something, I'll make it something I can use. But don't you bring me no bad news.
Number 6. Hair. The 1968 Hair pushed so many boundaries that it changed the face of musical theater. Its film adaptation was released a little over a decade later, but songs aside, it felt like a very different story.
Don't ask me why, don't know. It's not for lack of bread.
While both can be appreciated in their own right, the stage show packs the biggest punch. On-screen nudity won't have the same shock factor now, but many of the musical's themes remain as relevant as ever. An engaging ensemble and epic tracks explore topics like pacifism, bigotry, and sexual freedom, among other so-called taboo subjects.
You're crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy. We're all crazy. Let's shake on it.
Sure, we'd miss the excitement of the audience interaction, but a fun, poignant, and uplifting film sounds perfect. We could all let the sunshine in a little more. Number 5. My Fair Lady. It would be hard to rival this classic, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. The unconventional rom-com wouldn't be amiss in today's zeitgeist, and there are new generations just waiting to be exposed to Lerner and Lowe's sensational score.
I could have danced all night, I could have danced all night, and still have begged for more.
We'd also like to nominate the original Broadway Eliza Doolittle, Julie Andrews, to direct. She actually helmed an Australian revival in 2016, so we can't think of anyone better suited for the job. And Keira Knightley was once in talks to potentially star in a remake that never happened, which is a shame. We just want an Eliza who can sing, dance, and not butcher the Cockney accent.
I beg your pardon, miss.
I won't say those runny vows one more time.
Blimey, it's Eliza.
With a little bit of luck, we'll get the perfect film. And wouldn't that be lovely? Number 4. Into the Woods. A screen adaptation of this Sondheim classic was long awaited. But like the film teaches us, be careful what you wish for.
Agony, oh, the torture they teach. What's as intriguing or half so fatiguing as what's out of reach?
The Disney-fied version of the musical went down like the Giant's beanstalk. We need a new version that doesn't sugarcoat the show's darker themes and isn't afraid of sticking to the more harrowing parts of its source material. After all, this is a story about actions and consequences, and as in life, not all have positive outcomes.
I'm bewitched. You're all liars and thieves like his father. Like his son will be too. Oh, why bother? You'll just do what you do.
We also want to see the mysterious man back in full force. After all, he's a pretty important character that was essentially cut. There have been many fairy tale reimaginings over the years, and we just need one that can do the show justice.
And take extra care with strangers, even flowers have their dangers, and though scary is exciting, nice is different than good.
Number 3. Les Miserables. The 2012 adaptation of Les Mis left audiences feeling miserable for all the wrong reasons. The pace was unsteady, the close-ups were too much, and, well, it's a great example of when celebrity casting works and when it doesn't.
Stars in your multitudes, scarce to be counted.
We'd love a different director, perhaps one more familiar with musical theater, to take another shot at bringing this story to the silver screen. The musical's powerful message and themes of love, passion and resilience are vital to the narrative. And with the right group, it could be a stirring motion picture. On stage, Les Mis ensembles around the globe have successfully roused audiences since the 1980s. We definitely want to hear the people sing again, but it needs to be the right people.
The chain will be broken and all men will have their reward.
Number 2, Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop is a classic, but there's no denying that it could use a few technical touch-ups. As much as we love Audrey 2, the carnivorous plant puppet was quite high maintenance. But it's nothing that couldn't be solved with some modern visual effects.
Come on, CeeLo, don't be a putz. Trust me, in your life will surely rock a key touch. Show a little initiative, boy. Work up some guts and you get it.
That being said, we wouldn't want a remake to be too CGI heavy, as there's something to be said for the gritty, low-budget look. We'd also like the entire soundtrack to remain intact, although we'd accept a new tune or two from Alan Menken. In 2020, names like Taron Egerton, Scarlett Johansson, Billy Porter, and Chris Evans were attached to a remake, but apparently it's been postponed indefinitely. Still, we're holding out hope it'll happen one day.
You don't know what you're messing with. You got no idea. You don't know what you're looking at when you're looking here.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Evita. There are a plethora of actresses who could knock the lead role out of the park.
Have I said too much? There's nothing more I can think of to say to you.
A little night music. It just didn't do the magnificent show justice.
Don't you love us? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear.
Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Many feel this movie musical needs redemption.
Do forgive me if me head's a little vague. What was that? But you think we had the play? From the way that people keep avoiding, no you don't. Heaven knows I try.
Bedknobs and Broomsticks. We'd love to catch up with these characters in modern times.
Lovely substitutionary locomotion.
You've made substitutionary history with Traguna, McCoides, and a little help from me.
Dear Evan Hansen. The film didn't quite match the stage production's emotional punch.
Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall? And no one would hear.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Phantom of the Opera. Melodramatic, thrilling, passionate, and entrancing are just some words we'd use to describe this musical. As for its movie adaptation, well, let's just say the music of the night was off-key in many ways.
Let your soul take you where you long to be.
Should we get a remake, we'd want it to fill us with the same sense of danger, intensity, and excitement that's gripped worldwide theater audiences for decades. The show's also famous enough to draw in audiences without relying on miscasting celebrities for name recognition.
Would you not rather have your precious little ingenue?
Signora, no. The world wants you.
These iconic roles should be played by trained theater actors who can do the story justice, as that would breathe life into the hair-raising narrative. Hey, Andrew Lloyd Webber, if you're watching this is all we ask of you.
And now, how you've repaid me, denied me and betrayed me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.